Hey, Doug Walker here, doing a quick vlog review of Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. It's actually Halloween Day that I'm doing this, and I had a few extra minutes in between editing and getting ready to go to a Halloween party and stuff like that, so I was just like, okay, I can do this real fast, because I forgot to do a review of it, because I've done all the other Paranormal Activity movies, so I might as well do this one that's... I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably gonna be the last one. I don't think this film did very well at the box office. In fact, it was another one of those where it was like, demand it to be seen, where with the first film, everyone demanded to see, and this one, like, everyone's like, I don't give a shit. But I can't talk about this film without talking about what I thought of the other ones. First one, I more admire what it did than actually like it. I like that it was very minimalist and relied on very subtle scares and what you don't see and stuff like that. It was very patient. So I like that, but I didn't like the acting or even really what it amounted to, but whatever. Second one, I watch every Halloween, gets better and better, and I think is actually one of my favorite scary movies. I know I'm kind of a minority on that. Everybody loves the first one, but I mean, I thought it was brilliantly acted. I thought it was brilliantly tied together with the first one. I thought the scares are phenomenal, and I love showing it to people, because people, I think, always like, oh, well, it's a sequel. It can't be good. More of the same and stuff, but everyone I show it to, they're like, that was fucking good. And then it's like they forget about it. I don't know. That's a film that needs more attention, in my opinion, the second one, because I think that really gets swept under the corner with, or under the rug with all the other sequels. Like number 3, which is where they start to get a little stupid and predictable and cliched, and the people are too dumb. But there's still some good scares. There's still some really clever ideas for scares. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm still with it. Fourth one gets even stupider. But again, there's still some clever scares, and I'm really hard to scare. Like, I can probably count on one hand how many scary movies I've seen, like, legitimately scared me. And so when I see something that really is trying something new and different, I get into it. But the fourth one is stupid. But it keeps the mystery going, so it's like, okay, I'm still with it, let's see. Fifth one's a piece of shit, doesn't explain anything, it's not scary, the effects are getting sillier. The acting's good, I give it that, but that's about it, and a lot of people didn't go see it, so finally they released this one claiming all the answers are going to be in this one. It's in 3D, which I did not see it in, thank God. I go in, I see this movie, and let me tell you, if you're looking to see a film titled The Ghost Dimension, you'll probably get what you're looking for. If you're going to see a good Paranormal Activity movie, you're not going to get what you're looking for. This is one of those where it's, especially the end, it's kind of it's so bad, it's good. Because it starts off like every other Paranormal Activity film. I mean, they film everything. It's like crystal fucking clear this time, you know, but whatever. Technology is advancing and stuff. Without going into spoilers yet, I need to by the end of this, but it's another family comes across these tapes, and there's one or two kind of clever things. Most of them you see in the trailer with, like, the where they're watching the tapes, and it looks like the tapes can somehow hear them, like the girls from the past movies are somehow looking into the future and connecting with these people watching it. That's very clever. That's very, very clever. But outside of that, the scares, how do I put it? All the ghosts, like, you see them. And you see them in the trailer too. They look like cartoons. They are unbelievably fake. I mean, it's so funny how these films relied on so little, and now they're just going for the boogeymen, and they just look so horrendously bad. But here's the thing, too. Even if they were going to have these CG monsters in there, which are obviously CG monsters and very fake and stuff like that, you could at least get us with the sound design. Because there's a lot of scenes where something flies by or something goes roar and takes off or something like that, or something is just looking at a person in a bed, you know. And they have a clever idea where one camera has heightened bullshit, I don't know, but it can see ghosts, pretty much. It's kind of silly, but it's like, fair enough. It's a new idea, and I kind of like that. It's kind of like, you know, They Live or whatever, you put the glasses on. So, yeah, so you can see the ghosts on this camera. everybody's a fucking idiot, like, times a million in this, because they literally have footage of this damn ghost, and the wife is like, I don't know, I don't think it's there, I don't know what you're talking, it's like, just show her the damn tape, this is so stupid, and even when shit is happening, they still, like, it takes forever for them to get out of this damn house, so that's all the dumb mistakes you've seen in scary films, but what I was getting to is even when these things are just watching over, like, the people sleeping and stuff like that, they have the movie sound effects, the traditional scary movie sound effects. I mean, just all these dumb sounds. How much more effective would this have been if it was just silent? If these things are moving, these black shadows, and they're just watching, or maybe just that low bass that they had in the other films. That was so ingenious, you know, where it's like not a sound, it's just this bass, this sort of, not even a humming, it's just this treble. And, like, it was so effective in the first two films. That's like, it's all you need to do, and they don't do it. They have the dumb sound effects that I guess the camera picks up the sound somehow. Even though the girl is clearly talking to this thing and it's talking back, but it doesn't pick that up. But again, it's, I guess, nitpicking. But, the one thing about the scares I'll say is I like the idea of the camera that can see the ghosts and talking to the video cassettes. And for lack of a better way of putting this, it had good jump scares. And jump scares are lame and we hate them and stuff, but this one had kind of good build up to them. You didn't know when they were coming, and they got a good jump, and they were not like, oh, it was just my wife playing a joke, you know, it was legitimately a ghost flies by or, you know, looks at you or something like that. But after it's done, it's not like, ooh, that stuck with you, that was really scary. You know, it's a boo, but they're well-timed. They're well-timed boos. It's kind of like going through a haunted house, and it's like, oh, where are they going to jump out? Oh, there he was! But that person that jumped out isn't going to stay in your nightmares or anything, where, you know, some of the other films, like, those images will. But before I get to the actual ending of this, the one really good thing, like, chillingly good thing in this movie is that they have this little girl in the movie, and the acting is passable from most of the people. I mean, it's fine. Once in a while, you'll get, like, a really roll your eyes thing. I mean, this is not a well-written film. This is bad dialogue and everything, but once in a while, you'll get some people, like, you know, they're doing their best, you can tell, and they're passable at saying these terrible lines, but the little girl in this movie is really fucking phenomenal. I don't think I'm giving anything away by saying she's becoming possessed or something's talking to her. That's every goddamn movie. But she starts off as a real kid. I mean, she looks, sounds, feels, everything is like a real kid, and you know, runs around and talks like a real kid would. And then she's getting more and more possessed, like this kid. There's a wonderful scene where this priest comes in and he's like, you know, hi, you got a little something on your head there, and he pours some holy water on his head and puts a little cross on her head and stuff like that, and it's a legitimately kind of cool, uncomfortable scene. And then, like, she's already kind of acting a little weird, so you don't know what's gonna happen, and she just sort of looks at him and gives him, like, this smile, and it's like the creepiest smile. It's by far the scariest scene in the movie. It's just a smile, and it's a smile that you can't pick up yet, because she hasn't really, like, attacked anyone or swear at anybody or anything like that. She's just acting a little odd and sort of talking to these ghosts, and she just gives this phenomenal face. I mean, that is just the scariest thing in the movie. And you don't know if it's a smile of everything's okay or I'm about to fuck you up. And it's just so chilling, and I really want to give a credit to that child actress because she's really fucking good in this. And, I'm just hoping the fact that this movie, you know, never picked up and nobody saw it and stuff like that, I hope she gets work. But not to a point where, like, Hollywood destroys all child actors or anything like that. I hope it's, like, whatever, bounce down stuff. But yeah, she was exceptionally good in this. Even when she has to say really dumb lines, or she makes them sound very natural. So it's just really great job. So are the questions answered? Like, half of them? I mean, okay, technically, what is it? What's going on? That is answered. Why is still up in the air. This has, like, fucking time traveling in it and going to quote-unquote other dimensions, but you don't really see this kind of other dimension. It just sort of looks like either a place in the past or something like that. I'm not giving that away. That's in the trailer. But you figure out what they're doing. But again, like the means and why and how are still not explained. There's like a ton of things in the other Paranormal Activity movies. You'd be like, well, wait, well, why did they do that? Or how did this connect to this? Or well, where did this tie in? But you know basically what's going on, and it's pretty dull. It's pretty boring. It's about unimaginative as you can get. But the last third of this movie actually goes so batshit crazy. I know a lot of the people are like, well, the other Paranormal Activity movies near the end, they got pretty crazy. It's like, no, this is Ghostbusters. It turns into Ghostbusters. It is the silliest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life, and it's almost worth recommending just to see how fucking ridiculous it gets. It is so silly, so fake, the effects are beyond ridiculous, and it really is like you're watching, a video game, like of this monster coming at you. I kept wanting to get one of those little guns at the arcade and go pew 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 pew. It is so stupid. It's amazingly stupid. So, alright, so with that's it. That's basically the review. This goes into spoiler territory, so you get a general idea of what I thought. I didn't think it was very good. I thought the little girl in it was very good. It's probably a little better than the last one, because at least there's stuff I remember in it, and there's one or two ideas for scares or something. I'm like, okay, this is kind of a cool concept, even if it's not done right. And sometimes the jump scares were effective, so it's like, I'll give it that it is probably a little better than the last one. But yeah, it goes totally batshit insane, and this is where I'm gonna ruin the ending if you don't want to know about it. So this black thing, this black ghost that opens up these dimensions, and it's like, it's all the cliched stuff. The bright light opens up the door, and the person, walks through it and stuff like that. Again, like Ghostbusters. And then they're doing like an exorcism at the end of this, or quote unquote, they're trying to get rid of the demon in the house. And this thing, like, the demon, whatever, becomes physical. And what it is, they reveal, is that, I forget if they're trying to create a human form for either the devil or the Antichrist or, like, the servant of the devil, something like that. Something bad from hell. And you see this damn thing, and it is, like, just it looks like a Doom monster. It just looks like a human that's trying to look like a Doom monster, but it's all CG, completely cartoon, and literally, this thing comes out, starts grabbing people, just going rah, 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 with this, whatever, white eyes, and super fake CG face, and they throw a blanket on it, which is great. Like, that's gonna stop it, because they can't see it, so they try putting it on, and then, like, fucking smoke, like a tornado is going on in there, and then the black stuff, like, goes outside the circle and starts chasing him around it. Like, this black smoke monster, like the thing from Lost, like, is creating this hand. It goes through a guy's chest, and because it's 3D, it's trying to go rah, 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 trying to get the camera, and it is just so silly. And finally, like, she travels, whatever, back in time, which they never explain why they have to go back in time for this. But so finally the mother goes and, like, they finally bring human form to this evil entity, and all you see is, like, his feet, which just look like human feet. And he does what everybody does to the people in these movies, the last final shot, whatever. Just sort of takes the mother, breaks the neck, and the feet walk off. That's it. That's the big closer to Paranormal Activity. I guess it's like The Omen. Oh, the devil's walking among us now. We never see what the fuck he looks like. Really, you see what the quote-unquote spirit looks like. And it's just so dull and so boring, except for when they're being chased around. Everything else is on autopilot, but that ending is so amazingly dumb, it's kind of worth checking out just for that. So, yeah, it's a shame the series that, like, just thrived on that minimalism and the subtle touches. And did you see that? Every single time I watched the second one, I always noticed something I didn't notice before. And in this one, it's Ghostbusters. You're watching Ghostbusters 3. If Ghostbusters was a found footage movie, that's what this would be. Except it's trying to not be funny. It's trying to be legitimately scary, but it's not. It's hilarious. So, yeah, it's I'm glad it's the final one. I kind of said, like, when this movie was coming out, okay, I'm gonna fall for the gimmick of all the answers are gonna be here, because I was curious, even by the end of 4, with that big, giant army of women out there, I'm just like, what is going on? I'm legitimately interested, even though I knew it was getting dumber and dumber. And 5th one didn't answer anything, and so I went to find out. I got my answer. It's dumb. And I think the only other thing that really kind of like bothered me in terms of like I actually would have liked to have seen that was that they show kind of, I guess, the demon or the entity, whatever, that's talking to the girl. They show a picture. She draws a picture of this thing. It kind of looks like a goat with a bunch of eyes, drawn in crayon. And then they show a picture like drawn in a book or something. And this thing looks fucking creepy in the book. I mean, it's like this beautiful black and white line drawing of just this, kind of like this goat with all these eyes. And it's like, oh my god, it's the first time I was kind of like, I hope I don't see that. Like, I legitimately don't want to see that in this film because I think it would be too scary, and they don't show it. I mean, it's the one time I wanted to see this damn monster. I wanted to see the damn thing in all these movies, and they don't go through with it. So it's like, why even show it at all if you're not going to actually put that on screen? Even if it's just like a quick flash or something like that, just no, none of that. So I don't know. It's sorry, my phone's going off here. So yeah, it's, as you can guess, I didn't think it was very good, but I've always talked about the Paranormal Activity movies, so here it is. They did just kind of get dumber and dumber. I tell you, from 2 on, they got dumber and dumber, but each one up until 5 had something, something of interest. And I think the only thing that really stands out about this one is the girl. The kid in it is very, very good, legitimately scary. But again, you've seen a lot of scary kids in other films, so you could just, watch that. So, yeah, that's about it. That's my thoughts on the final Paranormal Activity. If they do make another one, I have no interest in seeing it. Hopefully this is the last one, because it really seems like it's run out of steam. So, but I still love the second one. I love several elements from the films. I'm glad they were made. I'm glad they made a lot of them. I kind of liked that tradition of returning back to them every Halloween. So, yeah, there it is. I still think there's so many good things in the series, and I think they're worth watching, probably up till 4, with the understanding that they will get dumber and dumber, but there's still good scares, and still such creativity to the scares, and the building up the suspense and everything. So, I still think they're worth watching, even though they get lamer and lamer. So, that's about it, and I will talk to you later.